Morning, everybody. Welcome back to another video. What I wanted to talk about today is some evidence that has recently come to light from science, and of course they don't know what they're actually finding. It helps to give some proof to the things I've talked about in the past and written about in the past in reference to creation and the fact that creation and everything that exists and every version of everything that could exist was created in a moment of time by nothing, which created, of course, source, which then created everything else. And I've gone into that in my books and videos, so I'm not going to go into that here. But in essence, every individual, in every moment in time is an independent individual moment in space-time, and everything that ever could have been and ever will be was created instantaneously in a single moment of time. Now, science and the majority of people in the world accept linear time, meaning that the universe, they say the universe is 13.7 billion years old. It started from a big bang, and that it took 13.7 years for us to get to the point to where we are. This little ball of material, whatever they think it might be, they don't really even know, exploded or expanded. They still don't know that either. And then at some point during its expansion and explosion, all these pieces and things start coming together to form the planets, the solar systems, the galaxies, and so on, all the stars, and all the things that we see today. But their idea is that it took that 13.7 billion years for everything to be to the point to where it is today. You know, they look at our reality like the Grand Canyon, they see all the sediment layers, they look at the rocks and they examine the ages of them. And because of that, they're accepting the idea that time is linear and that everything is created over time. In other words, as I said, the Big Bang started and then over time everything gets to be created from that. When in fact, it's as I said, everything that could and ever did exist was created in a moment, a single moment of time by nothing. And what they found now, and by the way, the only reason that you see things like the Grand Canyon with all the layers and all the stuff that they say proves that our Earth is, was it 4.5 billion years old, is it's there in order to make you believe that linear time and how they're saying things were formed is real, when in fact it isn't. What they found recently, an article I read this morning, is that using the James Webb Telescope, they say they're able to see some galaxies and systems that were, as far as I can tell, about 13.5 billion years old. Because remember, when they're looking into the what they call the past to see these galaxies, because they believe time, or they believe that light takes time to travel at light speed, of course, and that the light from that system, or the beginning of the Big Bang, would take 13.5 billion years to get to us. So we're seeing the universe as it was, or that system as it supposedly was 13.5 billion years ago. Well, the systems they're seeing, they say, were formed maybe 500 million years after the Big Bang. And what they found is that these systems, these galaxies, are much bigger and much more developed than they ever thought would have been possible at that point in their space-time, linear time computations. And what it's actually showing and helping to prove is, as I've said, is that everything was created in a single individual moment in space-time. The linear time is what we use to have an experience, and the time that we have here is, an example I use, if you have a cave like Carlsbad Caverns, you see the opening, it's a small opening. You go inside that opening and suddenly it opens up and there's miles and miles of tunnels for you to explore. Our reality is the same way. If you were to take a picture and that picture captures an individual moment in space-time, what we do and what we're doing within this, what we call a life, is we're going inside that individual moment in space-time, and we are creating time inside of that moment in order to explore and examine everything that could exist inside of that single individual moment in space-time. That's how our reality works here. And what they've done now is, by finding these galaxies that are more developed than they ever thought that could be possible, is that what they're actually seeing is the fact that everything was created simultaneously. You know, whether they'll come to that conclusion eventually, I don't know, because it would destroy all of their prior ideas about the Big Bang and the creation and so on down the road. Um, anyway, that's essentially what I wanted to talk about. It's, like I said, it's helping to prove some of the things that I've been writing about, and it's nice to see that things are developing along that line. It may give some credibility, a little more credibility to the stuff I've written about and the stuff I experienced. Because remember, when I went to the point of nothing, I experienced and knew at that moment how creation happened. So when I relay that information, it's because of what I experienced. It's not just a guess or something I'm pulling out of thin air, so to speak. And now the science is starting to prove that. So thank you, science. Everyone else, have a good day.